What up, B Squad? It is me, JB, and we are here today, you guys, with a brand new review for Bold and Bougie, Season 1, Episode number 3, you guys. And this episode was titled, Too Many Princesses for One Kingdom, you guys. Now, before we go ahead and get into this review, if you guys are watching this video or any other video on the channel and you guys aren't subscribed yet, then I need you guys to do me a solid favor and stop taking me out on this date and then having me pay for it at the end of it. You guys know the routine. You can do me that favor by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, and also by turning on your post notifications. And with that out of the way, you guys, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this episode of Bold and Bougie, shall we? All right, you guys. So this episode right here, it was a lot of things in this episode that I was just like, are we really doing this? And I'll explain them to you once we get to them. We pick up where we last left off. And you guys remember they were having that tea party, right? And it picked up with Malaysia asking Crystal if she ever slid in Usher's DMs, right? And Goshay was like, yeah, I had asked her that, like, girl, did you have sex with Usher? Like, did you sleep with any of her other exes or stuff like that? And I'm prefacing that by, because it's going to come up a little bit later in the episode, right? So Crystal says no, she never talked to Usher. She didn't do anything with Usher because Usher and Neo are cool with each other, right? So Tamika then told them, like, y'all, that's real corny. And honestly, I have to agree with Tamika, right? But it does make you wonder. Like, I know that Tamika's thing is the reason why she felt the way why she did what she did with Crystal was because she's friends with Manietta. But here's the thing, Manietta's not on this show. So I don't understand this, oh, I'm friends with Mo. I'm friends with Mo. She ain't never said nothing negative about Manietta so far. I know in the media she said things, but that is years ago. If she and Manietta haven't had an issue since then it should be water under the bridge because once again, she's not with Neo currently. She's divorced from Neo. So she's in the same boat as Manietta is, right? They just have kids with the man. That is it. That is all, right? So then Goshay is still pretty much going at Tamika, and she wants to know what is the issue between Tamika and Crystal, right? And so Tamika is telling her there is no issue. I don't have a beef with her. And I was like, I never took it. For me personally, I never took it as I never took it as Tamika had a beef with Crystal. I just took it as she was defending her friend. That's just how I took it. You guys can definitely tell me if that's what you got, and we'll move forward. But next up, we see Tamika and Goshay. So they met up in the rain. And to be honest with you guys, this conversation went nowhere. I will definitely say I did agree with one thing that Tamika said when she's sitting with her, right? She's like, I think to sum up what Tamika was saying is, if I'm gonna be around these group of ladies, I don't want you guys to always mention my ex because it makes me feel like, are you trying to get tickets out of me and things of that nature? So I got where she was coming from, right? So then Goshay asked Tamika, well, how are she and Crystal? And Tamika replies, I adore her. Now, I was like, okay, that is a little interesting. The way that you walked into Goshay's party, I wouldn't have got the vibe that you adored her, right? Especially with the fact that you walked in and you walked right past her and you didn't speak to her. But hey, if you adore her, it is what it is, right? So honestly, this conversation with Tamika and Goshay, it didn't go anywhere because Tamika eventually got up and walked away from the conversation. And I didn't really blame Tamika that much. I didn't blame her. Now, we'll pause here and we'll move forward, you guys. The next thing we have is Princess. So Princess is down at the dental office as she works with her husband, right? I think she says she's HR. Now let's be real, because she says she ain't been to, because the way they were looking at her, it's like she ain't been in that office in a month of Sundays, right? So from the outside looking in, I was like, so this was just somewhere for you to film, because coincidentally, Malaysia comes down, and I was like, yep, it was just somewhere to film. I'm not hating on it at all, right? So Malaysia and Princess are talking about this, I guess, like a fashion show that she's doing for Dillard's. And so then Malaysia tells Princess that she feels like she says things and then she backpedals on what she says. And she gave an example because I guess they didn't show this, or either I didn't remember it. But at the tea party, when they were talking about Usher, she said to Tamika that, she thinks that Tamika is still in love with Usher. And I was like, that's been, oh my God, that's been over 10 plus years at this point, right? Because when did he write Papers? Because Papers came out around the time of their divorce. And if I'm not mistaken, Papers came out in 2009, 2010. So they've been divorced for well over 10 years at this point. But hey, you can still be in, I speak for myself, right? I was still in love with someone that I had broken up with over 10 years ago as well. So it is what it is, right? But Princess says that she needs to apologize to Tamika for the comment. So she called Tamika on the phone, and Tamika didn't even remember the conversation. And I was with Malaysia. If she don't remember it, you don't have to apologize. But no, Princess went ahead and apologized to her, right? So then Tamika let Malaysia and Princess know that she's going to be having a book signing. So she invited them both down, right? So after that, we see Princess and Goshay, right? They went out to like a bar. They were playing, shooting, what is it? They were throwing the darts, right? And so Goshay had filled Princess in on her meet up with Tamika and how it didn't go anywhere, right? And so Princess, I noticed with Princess, so they're filmed with them because because if you notice, she's behind Real Housewives of Atlanta, but she's never been on camera. And I realized that. I'm like, Princess doesn't know where to look, because if you notice, she keeps there are quite a few times where she looks directly at the camera. I'm like, ooh, they didn't tell her act like the camera's not here and pay her no attention, right? But it is what it is, right? But Princess is basically telling Goshay to just give Tamika a chance, right? That is up to Goshay, what she wants to do. Like I said in a previous review, Tamika that I'm seeing is still the same Tamika from Atlanta Exes. Not much has changed with her. She still seems like the same person. But hey, that's it, you guys. We'll pause here and we'll move forward. The next scene we have, you guys, is with Crystal and Shad, right? So Crystal and Shad, they went out to one of those indoor events for the indoor things for the kids, right? Where I don't know what it's called, but it's one of those things where you take the kids and they have fun indoors. And so she's telling Shad about the tea party, right? Now, I'm laughing because I was about to say, I don't see it for Malaysia, but I don't have an issue with Malaysia. I know most of my people who watch this show and have watched basketball, some of y'all didn't stop watching Basketball Wives when I stopped. So you guys continue to watch even through the season when Shawnee called y'all, told y'all were too invested in the show. So I didn't watch that season, so I don't know nothing about it. Like I'll always say, the Malaysia that y'all got, I don't remember that. I don't know that Malaysia, right? So I know a lot of y'all don't see it for her. But I'm going to defend her in this particular moment because Crystal is telling Shad that Malaysia asked her if she ever slept with Usher. That's not entirely true. What Malaysia asked you was, did you slide into his DMs? And then it was Goshay who uttered, girl, that was the same thing I asked. Like, did you sleep with him? So it was Goshay who asked, did you sleep with Usher? Not Malaysia. It wasn't Malaysia at all, right? But she did say that when it came down to Tamika and Goshay definitely stood up for her, and she appreciates her, right? And I mean, I would appreciate it too, right? I would look at them like, you've been a real good friend to me. Like, you feel like I'm being mistreated and unfairly, and I'm being, feel like I'm being mistreated, right? So she appreciates that. And now, she has a hosting coming up, right? What I will say with Crystal, right? I do think that I'm gonna like Crystal. The only thing that I will say about Crystal is I don't want to keep hearing about Nia, right? because Crystal was talking about before she got with Usher, she was hosting at clubs and all that kind of stuff, right? And when she got with him, she gave that up. And I was like, okay, you gave it up, right? So now you're getting back into doing it. But maybe this show should have been called, I mean, it really gives X's, to be quite honest with you, right? Well, technically, there are 3 X's on here, right? Tamika's an ex-wife, Crystal's an ex-wife, and Malaysia is an ex-wife, right? Goshay is currently married, and so is Princess. I was gonna say this could be the ex-wives clubs of ex-wives of Atlanta, but because I just don't want to keep hearing about Neo. That's all I'll say. I don't want to keep hearing about Schaefer. Absolutely not. But yeah, you guys, that's that. So next up, we move over to Tamika's book signing, right? And Princess showed up as well as Malaysia, who was a little late, but she was there nonetheless, right? And what else happened? Tamika was telling a story about her son, Kyle, right? Tamika, although I might not be the biggest Tamika fan, I got to give it to Tamika that the fact that she was sitting there and having that conversation about her son, she did cry when she still started to tear up when other people in the audience teared up. But before that, she was getting through it. I was like, wow, I don't know if I could ever, like, y'all see me sometimes when I talk about my mom. There are times, which, like with her, she said there are times that she can speak freely, but then there are times where it's just like, very rarely is it, like, y'all know with me, especially if it's like next month is going to be, oh my God, next month is going to be what, 6, or is it going to be 7 years that my mom passed away? But wait, no, not next month, this month, we're in March. So this month is going to be the anniversary of her passing. So you guys know, I typically get emotional around her passing and her birthday, but my hat's off to Tamika, right? Now, after they had the conversation, after that, Princess and Malaysia were having a conversation about what Princess was told by Goshay about the conversation with she and Tamika. And then Tamika came up and they told her what they were talking about. Tamika basically told them, I don't care. You can't be, you cannot be mad at Tamika. You really can't be, because she's straight up telling y'all, like, y'all can have a conversation about it all y'all want to. It ain't gonna change how I feel, because I don't really give a damn. And honestly, despite the fact that I'm not the biggest fan of Tamika, that is my personality. That is 100% my personality. Like, if you're talking about something that I've either moved on from or it ain't that deep to me, I'm gonna straight up tell you, I don't care. Like, and my friends and family sometimes do get mad at me. They be like, but you should care. It's like, no, why should I care? If it doesn't help me, harm me, or anything of that nature, then why do I care? Like, I don't care. I really, truly don't. And that bothers me. That one thing I will say, my mom, she used to say that to me all the time. Like, she likes it's twofold, right? She loved the fact that I don't care about other people's thoughts and opinions of me, right? Which, like, if you don't know me and you've never hung out with me, and if you feel a way about me, I don't care about your opinions of me. I truly don't care what you think about me. That's your opinion, not mine, right? But she said, I like that you have that. I like that you feel that way. But then she also said, on the flip side, I hate when you just say, I don't care. What do you want me to say? It doesn't bother me. I'm not someone, I don't look for other people's, I don't need people's, what is the word I'm trying to think of? Whatever, y'all know what I don't need people's validation. I don't really need validation from people, because I validate myself, but hey, that's neither here nor there. How did I get on this? How did I get off on that tangent? I don't know how I got off on that tangent, but I went off on a tangent and we're back. But we'll pause here and wrap up the episode, you guys. All right, you guys. So to wrap up the episode, we see everyone who is at this hosting that Crystal is having, right? So this hosting, is at a restaurant bar. You know, it's like at one of those restaurant bar lounges, right? So it's not a club. And they all got kind of dressed up. They looked nice. And Malaysia showed up. Princess is there. And Malaysia showed up with her friend, Dr. Princess, right? I ain't really seen it from Dr. Princess because I think that Dr. Princess came in here with an agenda. I noticed that in the first episode that we met her, I was like, either she was vying for a position on this show, and I think that's what it was, right? So she met Princess, our princess on the show, and you know, at one point Malaysia was talking. She actually was talking about the fact that they're not in the VIP section. Nobody came over to serve them, and Crystal was like, because it's a bar and a lounge, and they were probably waiting for me to arrive, but she was being very bougie. And so at one point, Malaysia was having a conversation with Princess on the show, telling her that she needs to be more assertive, right? And I got where she's coming from. Because if people feel like they can just treat you any kind of way, then they're definitely going to just trample over you and walk all over you. So I got where Malaysia was coming from. Now her friend Dr. Princess on the other side, she was just doing the absolute most to me, and she was just looking for a moment. So Princess got up and she left out and she called that woman a bitch. I was like, damn. So Princess is outside in the car, and Malaysia came up because Princess was like she was gonna go call Tamika, right? So Tamika did call Princess on the phone, and they had a conversation. And Princess is telling Tamika like, "Hey, I think we need to sit down and have a conversation with each other, right?" Meanwhile, Crystal and the other princess and Shad, they're still inside, and the fact that she literally called Crystal loose, I was like, girl, you are literally just going off of what you saw on social media about the woman. You don't know nothing about her to sit there and make that accusation that she's loose and that she's a hoe. Like, get to know the woman before you say things of that nature. And honestly, if a fight had broke out, I wouldn't have been mad. I really would not have been mad at Crystal. Like, because you call me loose? Bitch, you don't know me. You don't know me from a hole in the wall. You don't know me from a can of paint. You don't know me from Tom's fucking cat. But you're going to sit here and infer that I'm loose. Okay, sis. Where'd you get your credentials for that you're a doctor? Like, let me see that you're board certified, right? Oh, God. Dr. Princess can go. She honestly can go for me, right? But that was this episode of Bold and Bougie. So let me know what you guys thought about it in the comment section below, you guys. Subscribe to the channel, turn on your post notifications, and share the video, you guys. And until next time, stay safe out there, you guys. Take care of yourselves. Wash your hands. Be blessed. And I'll see you guys in the next one, you guys. So next up, we're going to do Traders episode 9 and 10. Traders episode 9 and 10. Then we will do Real Housewives of Miami, parts 1 and 2 of the reunion. And then Rated to Love. And let's get into the blogs, you guys. So I'll see you guys for all of those videos.